Hello crafters and welcome to P2P Peninsula Craft online show brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows, our scrapbooking, mixed media art and paper crafting community. Now I'm your host Michelle Brown, Creative Director over From Picture to Page, and I'm really delighted that you can join us today. Now, the P2P Crafts online show has a whole heap of video demonstrations and chats with our talented retailers and some really special guest artists. So for all the details for the Friday and Saturday show, head over to our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au, where you can see a full program of both days, all the links to our guests and retailers, and of course catch up on the replays as well. And while you're over there, make sure you're on our email list so we can send you all of the updates and, of course, let you know when our 21 dates are out as soon as they are organised. Now, whether you're watching us here live on Facebook or you're watching us on Facebook or again in YouTube, we would love to know that you're there. So pop in the comments, say hi, let us know where you're watching from. Are you in the Adelaide camp, or are you over on the East Coast, or are you somewhere else completely? We would love to know where you're viewing us from. Make sure you give us a like, thumbs up. Of course, share us with your crafty friends when we're finished, and we would love to be able to share this crafting session with you. And of course, if you do have any questions, pop them in the comments and Natalie and I will do our very best to answer them during the session, or if not, we'll catch up with them later. So we're really excited today to have Natalie May from Natalie May Scrapbooking. Hello, Natalie.
Hey, how you going?
We're going well, and of course you're over there in Adelaide, and we've been so worried about you this week. How are you going?
Oh, good. We dodged our 6-day lockdown and ended up with a very, very small little 3-day lockdown, which was fine. But yeah, we are very grateful to be out and about walking around again, which is kind of nice, and out of that lockdown.
Excellent. And you're saying you've had a rather warm day today?
We have. Adelaide today has hit 42, I
Oh my
think,
goodness.
and tomorrow's a little bit higher before the cool change comes in. But I'm in my studio, and it is like a little icebox, and I'm super happy to be in here working away all weekend. So really quite enjoying that, making the most of it.
Excellent, excellent. And so what have you got to share with us today, Natalie?
Well, I thought I'd do an art journal page today, and it is based on a scrapbook page I created live on Facebook some weeks ago.
Ooh,
But I
okay.
wanted to show how to turn a scrapbook page into an art journal page with ease.
Wow, I don't think I've seen that before. That sounds really interesting.
Give it a whirl. How bad can it go live on Facebook, right?
Oh, exactly. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Actually, let's not say that. After this year, I don't think we should ever be
No,
saying that.
no, do not jinx it. No one needs that anymore. So that's for sure.
Exactly.
We're this close to Christmas.
Yep, that's right. We've got to just focus on that and get through this
Yep,
year and then look into 2021. Excellent. Well, we'll let you get
absolutely.
yourself ready and we'll jump into
Thank you.
it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, it's lovely to have you all here with us today. And like Natalie said, she is taking a scrapbooking layout and turning it into more of an art journal. So I'm really intrigued because you do find, sometimes we do get in our own little camps of paper crafts. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes to cross the divide. So it looks like Natalie is all ready. So take it away, Natalie.
Whoops. There we go. Okay, guys. So what I thought I'd do is this is a page that I created, like I said, a little while ago, and it's a bit of a cheats page. It's a really simple scrapbook page full of colour and lovely and bright. And what I thought, hey, why not? I will turn it into an art journal page. So give that a go. I'm just going to turn the volume up on my phone. Won't be a moment. Sorry, love.
Yep, that's great.
Thank you. All right, so I have got here today a couple of things to use. This is my Big Dilutions art journal. I've got it prepped up for a double page spread, but I'm actually only going to use half today. I love Altenew products. I've been using Altenew products for a couple of months now and got this gorgeous color wheel die in. Everyone knows I am a sucker for a color wheel, always have been, and absolutely love playing with color. So I thought the inspiration behind this scrapbook page was this die. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Scribble Sticks today, and I have pre-cut 3 of these gorgeous little die cuts ready to go, and my thinking is to take them and move them around the page like that. So they should space out quite nicely on my single page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this to the side. I have pre-prepared my page with gesso, and I'm just going to draw a quick pencil line down this middle mark here, because I think on camera it probably looks a little bit hard to see, but there we go. So what I want to do is I want to work with Scribble Sticks today. So Scribble Sticks are, of course, these gorgeous little sticks of colour. They are acrylic paint in a crayon. That's the best way to describe them. Really easy to use. With my page, what we needed to do is, I'm not actually adding any colour to the actual colour wheels themselves. I'm going to cut some little segments to sit in behind. So what I think I'll do is I've got my circles cut here. So the die comes with this bit, and then it also comes with a circle as well, so that you can layer up over the top. So I have started ruling up some segments. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'll roll up some more segments so I can do a few different ones. Except for I can't get that out the packet. So I'm just going to mark it on the back. So the cardstock that I'm using is nothing special. It is just a medium to heavyweight cardstock that is going to, it's not a watercolor paper or anything like that. It's just something great that I like to use on pages for stamping on, etc. Nothing fancy. And now I'm going to just rule these segments so that I've got a bit of a guide to cut with. Where are we? Ruler, mark, there to there. Oh, I missed one. There we go. Straight through there. It just makes it a little bit easier for when I want to trim these little segments off in a moment. So how's everybody's day going where they are?
I think everyone's going well. I noticed we've got some people from Penrith. We've got someone from Canberra. Oh,
Fabulous.
Victor Harbour, so someone down your way.
Wonderful. All righty. So I'm just going to pop this aside. So I've just used that as a guide so I know exactly how wide my segments are. There's no reason why you can't use your die cutting for your art journal. I think people seem to think that the art journal is mostly all about paint and stamps and stencils, but there's no reason why you can't recreate a scrapbook page or a card or anything really, but just make the techniques bigger and bolder and put them onto your art journal page. So you're only limited by your imagination. I know it's a cliche, but it is spot on. So I just need to cut a few of these little segments out using my guillotine. I won't use them all. In fact, I'll cut this half and that will be just fine. That'll do me. Okay, so what I want to do with these guys here is they're going to sit in underneath each. Oh, I missed some. I have to come back to that. In underneath all of these little segments here. So they're going to line up quite nicely. It's just a little bit of creative paper piecing to make it work for me. So I think with this one, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll do 4 on that side. I'll be lazy and use my scissors for the rest. And that's the advantage of having those lines drawn. And done. So I know a lot of people have done some fantastic mixed media classes over the years. And with mixed media classes, and you turn them into scrapbook pages, why can't you just pick it up and turn that into your art journal page as well? So it's all about having a little bit of creativity, thinking outside the square, and utilising all of those techniques that we have been saving for that rainy day. So let's crack out these Scribble Sticks. God, I'm a mess of paper here today. Let's go. All right, so what I've got are Scribble Sticks. So Scribble Sticks are your acrylic paint in a stick. I've got here my paint palette, my Montmartre paint palette, and I'm just drawing a few colours on here. So I've chosen colours, of course, that are alongside each other on the colour wheel. So when I mix them together, I don't make mud. Okay, so give you a bit of an idea. These colours here, of course, are the colours I'm going to be using. And if we mix them together with colours that are opposite on the colour wheel, this is the colour that it makes here. This is a really good little thing to print off and practice for yourself so you can see what happens. So although red and green are fantastic, gorgeous Christmas colours, let's be honest, they're not as pretty when you mix them together. So when I'm mixing things together when they're wet, stick with colours that are alongside each other on the colour wheel. Good little colour theory practice there. So,
and what a great idea to have a colour wheel where you have actually mixed them just to remind yourself what would happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you don't do it and you don't practice it, then you just don't know how it's going to work out. And I think that that's really, really important to remember how to do that. So just off camera here, I've got my little my water, and I'm just wetting my brush into there and then activating these Scribble Sticks, and grabbing some colour straight off the Scribble Stick if I need to make it a little bit more intense. And I've got an instant acrylic paint straight onto my project. So I can pop that aside to dry, and I'm going to do that with 4 different segments, and I'm going to mix the colours between these ones that I've got here and just grab it like that. So if it is too light because I've added too much water, the great thing is I can also grab my Scribble Stick. I can go straight on, but I don't want these crayon sort of marks that I get. So I like to take it straight off of the Scribble Stick, okay? Just like that. So you get this awesome little effect. So this technique would look amazing with lots of different mediums. You could use watercolours, which is what I did for my original layout. You could use Lindy's Gang Magicals or any product that is going to give you a nice gradient of colour. So just to speed things up a bit, I'm just going to do that, and I can add more colour just like that.
Yeah, they're such bright colours, aren't they?
They are. They're lovely and vibrant. And of course, the water that you add dictates how bright they're going to be. The more water you add, the lighter the colours are going to become. So there's no reason why I can't keep adding to these little squares. I can just build and build and build on those colours. And there's no reason why I can't just apparently talk and work at the same time. Sorry.
That's okay.
There's no reason why you can't enhance the colours, mix them together while they're wet, and play with them like that. So once they're dry, if I don't like the colour that I've made, I can continue to build over the top because it is acrylic paint. Okay, so it's not watercolour, so it's not going to reactivate, but it will just become nice and bright. So I can go in now and grab some of this lovely green and go straight onto here like that. And I'm pretty happy with that. I might pop a bit more green on that guy. And I'm fluffing around with it now. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next colours. Whoops. So I'll do something in, oh, goodness me, they're rolling around all over the place. I'm going to do something now in the pink, so I can wipe it off my colour palette easily enough. The palettes are fantastic for when you're working in a little area where you can't spread your paints around. And for travelling, especially when we go back to doing that, hopefully soon, you can pick the colour up off of that. So let's go straight in with some hot pink here. Straight on. All I want to do is colour my segments with a little bit of pink and a little bit of orange, because those colours are not going to muddy up. And they're going to sit underneath our colour wheel as well. So it doesn't really matter too much if it's not perfect, because it's an art journal. Nothing about art journaling should be perfect. It should be about your own creativity. And I think that's something that we all tend to forget a little bit too much about.
Yeah, we get so caught up in seeing what everyone else is up to. We get a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, we do. We compare ourselves to everybody else's work. And I hear that a lot at the moment. With all the time that people have had to create during quarantine, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, Natalie, I'm not loving the work that I'm creating. It doesn't look like yours. That's not what it's about. It's not about making it look like mine. It's about taking an idea.
Exactly.
Or
Each
a
week
technique.
when we do our update, we have a crafty inspiration. And lately, yes, we've been talking about taking small steps, breaking projects down, go and make a lot of bad art so you can, and it probably won't be bad, but at least if you give yourself permission just to create and then see what happens, enjoy the process.
Yeah, that's right. And something that's also really important is you're not going to get judged out of 10.
Funny about that.
We all seem to think that somebody's going to comment and go, oh, my God, that's awful. Nobody's going to say that to you. And if they're thinking it, let's be honest, we don't need those people in our lives, because you're not creating it to impress them. You're creating it for you. You're creating it for your journey. So I think that that's a really important step as well. I've done cools, I've done warms, and now I'm going to jump into the middle and do something I don't normally do. Purple.
Ooh.
And I know a lot of my regulars are looking at me going, Natalie,
I hope they're all sitting down.
Step away from the purple. Oh, of course, the colour that I want is stuck in the bottom. But what I am going to do is I'm going to enhance it with a little pink. And I'm just going to keep a little bit of navy blue off on the side. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go.
Oh, is that the marine or the lap? Oh, that's the marine or the night?
Night. Night is my go-to.
Well, I was just using the Dina Wakeley paints for gel printing.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I love gel printing. I need to do more of it. Most definitely need to do more of it.
And we've got at least 2 votes in the comments for purple, so that's good news.
That's because they all know how much I don't use purple.
Yeah, and Karen's a bit worried if you're feeling okay.
That sounds about right. Thanks, Karen. That sounds very much right. Okay, let's just crack these ones out. And then these are drying off quite nicely. The good thing about them here is I'm not using a whole lot of water either, so they're not going to take a terribly long time to dry. So that is fantastic. Pop a bit of purple at the bottom. Top, bottom, beautiful. And this set is a lot lighter, and that is fine, because whatever colour I set these at is what the rest of the layout is kind of going to dictate as well. All right, done. So next thing I need to do is on my art journal page, I know that I'm going to put one here. Slide those little guys off to the side. It's like little pizza wedges.
Oh, okay. Don't mention pizza in Adelaide.
Yeah, no, none of that's funny. I can tell you right now. Gee whiz. Okay, so this is where I want my pieces to go. So this one down the bottom here is going to be my blue tones. So what I want to do is now take I'm just going to slide these guys off to the side. I'm going to take my palette and again make up a wash of those colours so that I can do a little bit of splashing around in underneath this. What did I say I was going to start? I'll start up here. So a little puddle of colour here in these lovely blues. All right. And I'm just going to very, very loosely do a little bit of that. And it's super loose. So in fact, I'm going to get a bigger, wider paintbrush that holds more water so that it becomes a real sort of wishy-washy watercolour effect. And that is what we're going for here.
Yeah. And did you say you had gessoed that page already?
I have pre-gessoed. So simply because I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do tonight. I kind of went, maybe I'll have a bit of a play with this. Maybe I'll have a bit of a play with that. So it was only about 10 minutes ago that I decided I was going to use Scribble Sticks and not watercolour paint.
Oh, lovely.
So there's no reason why I can't put any sort of product in the background here. Last time I hung out with you, I used magicals. So that would have worked in exactly the same technique.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so that side's done. Now I'll put the orange and red colours smack bang in the middle. So I know that they are going to go about there. And I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and dip my Scribble Stick straight into the water. And what's happening with that is it's just making it nice and juicy for me to use.
Yeah.
All right. So now I've got these great little puddles to work from here without them rolling off my table. There we go. And again, a really loose wash. So definitely the trick here is to use the water. The water needs to do the work. I was saying today in one of my other live Facebooks I've done today that we all get so scared of water. Oh, look, there's a bonus strip I didn't need.
Did you speak too soon?
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, water is the key to making it work. Let's get that colour wheel. We kind of know it's going to go a bit like that, and I can come down here a bit. Some fresh water. Grab that. And now I can just do a couple of little splatters, and then we can make that one look like it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Perfect. And then very quickly, the last one is going to be, what haven't I done? Oh, that purple.
She's forgotten the purple already.
Oh, yeah. Straight in there with a bit of that purple. And with purple, I used some pink as well, didn't I? And that's an awful lot of pink. But let's commit to it. So because that went super dark there, all I need to do is just add a bit more water to lighten it up and spread it out so that it becomes a tone of something that I really want. Just a little tip here. You'll notice so far I don't have any brush strokes. I don't want brush strokes that do this, okay? It's a real puddled effect that we're going for. And I find that will look a lot more effortless, and that comes with the use of water, okay?
Yeah, it's much more organic like that.
Organic. That's the word I can never remember. All right. So where I've got this line here that I really, really dislike, I'm just going to take a wet paintbrush and just lighten it up. And if you don't like it that much, you can grab some paper towel and grab it and lighten it up that way and just let it do its thing. So this big goober here, I can just soak a little bit of water up from that. So that will dry up an awful lot quicker. Alrighty. So I'm going to pop that off to the side, and I just need to now quickly pop some of these wedges onto the back of my circle. So to do this, you could use normal glue, you could use anything. I'm using good old trusty Dimensional Magic. It is, oh, look at my fingers. It is one of my go-to adhesives. Can anybody see where I put my baby wipes? Oh, sorry guys. Right. So a tip before I touch that, because it is white, I've got acrylic paint on my hands and it will transfer straight over. So I'm glad I picked up that little furphy just before I started. Does everybody else create like me? You put something down and then 6 minutes later you can't find it on your desk. I tell you.
I'm not sure who'd be willing to admit that.
Oh, look, I'm as human as they come, and I can tell you some of those lovely little mistakes that I have made lately have been some rippers. But that's all part of the process of creating, isn't it?
No, I tidied up my studio this week. I'm having trouble finding anything.
Yeah, actually, and since this year has been such a fabulous year for Natalie May Scrapbooking, I have had a staff member start with me. I have my sister Louise, who is an absolute champion, and Louise works with me, and she's been keeping things lovely and tidy around here, and I've been trying to keep things lovely and tidy. But I can't find anything if I put it away. I need to have it. I need to see things. But yes, it's been quite a year. I'm working on an area here at the moment, half the size that I normally would, simply because for this weekend I've needed a bigger area. So it's quite amusing actually. All right, so just using the glossy accents. So a product here that has multiple purposes. Glossy accents, of course, dries with a shine, but it is a splendid adhesive. Okay, get on there. So when I flip it over, voila.
Oh, lovely.
I've got this cute little colour wheel going on. So works great. So I can either go straight onto the wedges, which seems to be working a bit quicker and easier. And it works just by...
Yeah, because that'd be quite tricky to try and do that with tape, wouldn't it? I think the glue.
Yeah, exactly. In art journaling, we find that we don't use double-sided tape as much, simply for that reason. It's something that is, it doesn't, it's not as flexible as what a glue is, and that's really important when you're starting out in art journaling and you don't know what to do. You have a look at the tools and the things that you've accumulated over the years and go, can I use that? How can I use that? Rather than buying all the things again from scratch and then discovering, oh, for goodness sakes, I already had that. Or you purchase something after a class many years ago and you don't know how to use it. Pull it out and go and try and work out what else you can do with it.
Yeah. And before each show, we encourage everyone to pull out their purchases from the last show, and if they've got any questions, to bring them back and talk to the retailers again.
Oh my gosh, yes. The amount of people who have contacted me over the years, as I have been an ambassador for a company, for Lindy's, many people have come to me and said, Natalie, how do I use that again? And we'll go over the basics. I've always got the time. That's, part of my job as working with them. So it's any store owner should give you that same courtesy for any and every product. I'm a firm believer that education will lead the way to fantastic creations if you take the time. If you take the time to learn how to use those products. All right, whack that one down. Okay, and I think I'm going to stop at that because what's happening is we're only going to see a small amount anyway because we're going to trim some off. The best thing about this is I can just pop some glue on this area now, and that is what's going to hold it all together. So that one's down. My purple one's looking pretty amazing, surprisingly enough.
Yep. And so you found that those scribble sticks are fairly dry now?
Yeah, these are still there's a couple of little puddles on here, but it's still going to work just fine if I don't plan on moving it around a lot. It's going to hold quite nicely. And this one really does just need one more wedge here. Because I did use a decent amount of water. They do take a moment to dry, but yes, I could pull out the heat gun, but nobody needs to watch paint dry tonight. It's a Friday night. I nearly poured myself a gin and tonic and went, oh, no, let's not do that live on Facebook. I've done that before. Soon enough, indeed. All right. So there we go. So I now have a quick and easy, the base of a page, very, very similar to what I have worked on with this one. The difference being with this one, I used foam tape to create that shadow underneath, which, of course, I haven't done here. So all I need to do here to finish off is choose a title. So these are traditionally used for scrapbooking. I don't know why I have to use them for scrapbooking. I'm sure we've all got packets and packets of alphas floating around.
They're great colourful ones.
They are. These are the Vicky Bouton.
Right.
Vicky Bouton colourful. They are. They're just called the colourful ones. So they're kind of great. And they have got the word colourful here. So am I going to use that? And they're on clear plastic. So the best thing about it is
are pretty close to match, aren't they?
Yep, they're not too shabby at all. So let's commit to it. Let's just get that on there.
Let's just do it. Woohoo!
The more I think about it, the more I procrastinate, the more I go, oh, I wonder what this would look like if, who's got time for that?
Nope. And then if you didn't like it, turn it over and once it's dry and do it again.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that goes, you know what, I'm going to commit to it from start to finish. And if I don't like it, turn the page. Yeah. And I don't have to tell anybody else that I don't like it. It's just me that doesn't like it. Yeah. So if you can't see your mistakes, how can you stop from doing them again?
Exactly.
That's kind of my thoughts.
Step back and ask yourself those questions. What is it about it you don't like? And then how can you
adjust
that?
Absolutely. So this little pack of alphas is great. It's got these gorgeous little love heart elements on it as well. So I can add those little bits on there. Oh, there's a little bit in the middle there that's bugging me. Okay, don't look at it. Not important, Natalie, in the big picture.
And those colours are a really good match.
I've surprised myself with that, actually. Every now and again, you can just kind of pull one out and wing it. And what I will do when I after I close the book, I will trim off these little edges, top and bottom here, so that they are not overhanging and they don't get damaged. I don't feel the need for any black on this because it is
colourful.
It is beautiful and colourful, and it's nice and easy. I will, off camera, possibly when I finish it off, add some more words. Where do I want to put that up there? So I might put down here, live a colourful life. I might scribble some of that on there just to add that little bit of bit more interest around the page, and trying to add the colours in these little dots, these little enamel dots that are, contrasting quite nicely with the colour wheel underneath. So taking a very simple design from my scrapbook page, using the Altenew die, which is, I guess, designed for, just about anything for scrapbookers or card makers, but, putting it in an art journal. There's lots of different dies that you can use in your art journal. I think that you're only, like I said before, you're only really limited by your imagination. And that really hasn't taken too long to do.
It hasn't. It's taken you about half an hour.
No way.
Yep.
Record time. So in saying that, a little black pen frame all the way around. This is a really thin pilot pen that I like to use for journaling in my projects, simply because it allows me to add a couple of little squiggles, a couple of little bits and pieces, and I can add my journaling. So to do that, because I've still got a little bit of dampness in my page, I'm not going to put my hand on it. So a piece of paper towel straight on. Let's find a slightly thicker pen. What have I got here next to me? And I always test my pens, beforehand, to make sure that I don't go in there with a Sharpie. So that one will work. Colourful. Whoa, that was a bit bigger than I thought it was going. Colourful living makes me happy. So because I went super bold with the pen, because I didn't check it properly.
You'll add a few extra lines.
Because I'm human. There we go. I'll make my frame bigger and bolder to match.
Yep, and that's what's great about art journaling. You can kind of adjust it a bit here and adjust it a bit there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, who says that there's any rules? Like, really? I mean, my major rule is the colour wheel. My major rule is not making brown when you mix your colours together. I've got these cute little stamps. Designed by Natalie May, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Isn't she clever?
This one says, art begins with a vision. Do a little test, make sure it's up the right way. Yep. And now I can do a little bit of what I call shadow stamping. So I do the bulk of my stamping onto here first, and then I can create a bit of a shadow on here so that it's not super dark, because it's really hard to take off once it's on there, especially in black archival ink. The other one I've got here, trust the timing of your life. So these are lovely little quotes that you can use on art journaling, you can use on scrapbooking, you can use on anything at all. And I always will try and stamp or shadow stamp at least 3 times in that location so that it is balanced. What else have I got floating around? Oh, here we go. One of my favourite quotes, and everyone has heard me bang on about this: don't overthink.
Don't overthink. Excellent. Now, Natalie, Wendy was just wondering, what would you put on the other page?
I would probably do a do it exactly the same thing. I would mirror my second page. So there's no reason why I couldn't extend with another one here, and then one up in that, where are we? Yeah, another one here and down there, or put one big one smack bang in the middle here with another small one off the side. There's absolutely no reason why I wouldn't do that. So it was just for time that I just figured that you guys did not need to see me colour in little wedges for the rest of your evening. But yeah, that is certainly what I would do. And then I've got a perfect spread across my whole page. Does that make sense, Wendy? Can you picture that? And what colours would I use? Well, I haven't really touched on greens, so I could do a green one here. That's probably what I would do there. And let's have a look at our colour wheel and see what else we've got. I've got purple. I've got more oranges into reds. I could probably go for a deeper pink in the middle. Okay, so that's what other colours that I would put onto my colour wheel page. All right, so that would be the go-to. So while I've been talking, I've just added a little bit more shadowing in those areas there. I feel the need. I have to put something up here, but because I don't want it to go on this page, because I haven't decided if I'm going to extend it, I'm going to do a bit of that. So I'm going to mask it off and make sure that that's up the right way. And then I end up with these little half words. Oh, my watch is talking to me, sorry. And then I've got, oh, look, I didn't check it and it's upside down. All right, got to commit to that now, don't we? All righty, so there we go. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's worked out an absolute treat.
It certainly has.
All right.
Excellent. Oh, well, will we get you to flip the camera around and you can...
Sure.
We'll have a quick chat.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, wasn't that wonderful? And what a unique way to use a colour wheel, as well as different ways to use the Scribble Sticks. Because as Natalie said, the great thing about mixed media and Papercrafts is that we want to be able to use our tools and our supplies in so many different ways to absolutely get the best out of them. So Natalie, thank you so much for joining us today.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
Great.
And yeah, jump online to nataliemay.com.au and yeah, you can get all the things there, and feel free to send me a message, ask me any questions. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, excellent. Now, did nataliemay.com.au have any specials at the moment?
I do. Today and tomorrow you can get 15% off stamps, 15% off stencils, 15% off alcohol inks, and pattern papers as well, 15% off. And seeing that Christmas is just around the corner, 15% off everything Christmas. Big bonus fantastic. There. And just as an added bonus for everyone, you only need to pay shipping once. So if you pay shipping on your first order, which is only $12.50, if you decide, you know what, I need to get some Scribble Sticks now, or I need that colour wheel die, then you can select no judgment on your second order, and it's only 1 cent for extra shipping. Oh, so you can build and build and build all weekend with no judgment.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for sharing that art journal page with us today. It's been an absolute delight.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and watching that quick little page. And as I always sign off, wash your hands, kiss your kids, and pop a mask on.
Most definitely. Excellent. Thanks, Natalie.
No worries.
Fantastic. Well, we hope you enjoyed that session with Natalie May. So particularly for those that like art journaling, that's such a great idea. But of course, for those that you aren't, you can see how it could easily apply to a scrapbooking layout or adjusting that to a card as well. Even just one single circle on a card front with a couple of words would look just gorgeous. So hop over to Natalie's website. The link's here with the video. Go and check out what she's got. Check out her no judgment offer, which I think is just so generous of Natalie, and see what else she's got to share with us. So of course, if you've got any questions, leave them below in the comments. Make sure you give us a like, send us some love, and of course share us with your crafty friends. And we're really so excited to have you here with us today. So this is Michelle signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.